It's going to be a little similar to Fridays. So for like the next 3 lessons, well, today's and 2 more, we are finding different points inside of triangles. So on Friday we found the circumcenter. Today we're going to find the incenter, and it's a little easier, I think, than our circumcenter. So we're going to look at this triangle here, and in this triangle, if I make angle bisectors, oh, Tiana, what's a bisector? What's an angle bisector?
In the middle, right?
Yeah, in the middle of? An angle bisector is in the middle of?
I'm gonna do that one again. AB, AP, and BP, and CP.
Yeah, those are the angle bisectors. Remember, angle bisectors cut angles in half.
B and C.
Headphones off for the lesson, Quana. So, angle bisectors are in the middle of an angle. They cut different angles in half.
B and C.
So, in this triangle, I've got 3 angle bisectors. I have AP, BP, and CP. That is a point of concurrency. And, wrong thing. And they are special because if I go from this point P, where all 3 lines meet, and I go straight to a side and make 90-degree angles, all 3 of these are congruent. So, PZ is congruent to PY is congruent to PX. All 3 of them are the same. And this point P, right here in the middle, point P right here, is called the incenter of a triangle. The incenter of a triangle.
with the S.
So we're going to practice finding the incenter, then we're going to work a little bit with these perpendicular lines in here, a little bit.
I did put incest.
But it won't be quite as bad as finding our circumcenter from the other day. So to start with, we're going to practice finding the incenter. I was hoping I would have enough protractors where we could actually measure, but we don't have enough, so we're going to kind of estimate our incenter. I'm going to have to see if I can find more. So what I'm going to do is, or what I'm going to have you guys do, rather, is take your ruler. Tyler, or Caleb,
What?
or
My
Caleb.
hand was right here.
Or Caleb.
My hand was right
Say
here.
or Caleb.
Tyler.
Okay, so we need to draw some angle bisectors to make our incenter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a corner, and I'm going to put my ruler right in the corner, and I'm going to rotate it and try to cut that corner in half. Normally we would use a compass and measure it and then cut it in half, but we don't have those. We don't have enough. Excuse me, a protractor. Compass. So I'm going to try to make an angle bisector, which they're kind of, I'm not very good at estimating. I think it's about like here maybe?
No, it's too high.
No.
Yeah.
Just a little bit down. Tilt it down.
Like
No,
Yeah,
A little down, you think? All right there?
yeah.
Yeah, it's good enough. We are just estimating these. So
Estimated.
I'm going to draw my first angle bisector, and that's okay, I guess. I'm going to pick another corner, and I'm going to draw a second angle bisector. I'm going to go right there. This angle bisector. Whoop, wrong one. Back up.
26
I
divided
think
by
it's going to
2.
be about right
No, I
here.
think.
And I'm going to draw my second line, and my incenter is going to be where they cross. This is my incenter.
Wait, so you only do it to 2?
Yes, you could do it to a third one, but they all meet at the same point, right? If I did the third one, it should go right through here, unless I did these wrong. So there's no point in finding a third one, because you already found where they cross, right
I
there.
found one.
So this is our incenter. That's our incenter right there. So we're going to do 1 or 2 more incenters, and then you'll do one.
They look exactly not like mine.
So we are estimating these, so as long as they're close, it's not a big deal if they're not exact. And like I said before, I was hoping we could do these with protractors to make it nice and easy. But we didn't have enough, I couldn't find any. So we're going to have to kind of estimate. So I think about right here for this one.
not okay. Guessing's wrong.
Yeah, I don't like doing it, but we don't have all the resources we need. I actually thought about having you like fold these in half, but then we'd have to do it a ton, and I was like,
Scientists don't
And then
guess.
just make the paper look bad.
Yeah, they do. They
Yeah.
estimate.
No, they
so
don't.
we're
It's pretty much the
just
same thing as
estimating.
guessing.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it
No,
is.
because I could guess and say, oh, this is in the middle.
Scientists back up their research.
And, well, that's not good enough. That's not a good guess. So we're going to
They don't
estimate.
guess.
Say it's about
So yeah,
right
estimation is
here.
doing guessing.
There is no estimations.
So I'm going to make that line. And
Then why is there a word estimation made anyways?
Because they're from
This
this
is
Ryan?
my in center is about
Shut
right
up.
there. That's not
I
exact.
could just
but it's
go on
close.
and on.
We're not starting.
I could just go
You're
on
not
and on.
starting
but,
this again.
I
Happened
guess
before.
All right.
that's
So what I want you guys to do is find the in center on this orange triangle in the bottom right.
What about the other black
make
one?
Me.
We'll skip it. That's
Make
fine.
me
We
go
already did it
down
twice.
there, you.
We are just estimating. So we're going to draw two angle bisectors and find where they meet. Angle bisectors cut
I'm
angles in
so
half.
Angry I could
Yeah,
scream.
that's not happening.
Ah.
So do your best to estimate. I know it's kind of tough to do it, but do your best.
Yeah, Caleb. It works.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna let somebody put it on the board for us.
No
Kind
thanks.
of estimate it. I'll have you freehand it.
No thanks.
I'm gonna have you use the ruler.
No.
Freehand.
I can do that.
We'll see.
I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Again. Like two times in a row last week on Friday and this on Monday.
All right, Lark.
What?
Find the in center for us. Just
So
estimate
easy.
it. Just estimate it.
Guesstimate.
All right, Lark's gonna estimate where the in center is for us.
How did you think that, Lauren?
I don't know, it seems like he's been in school for long. I know, but like, it seems like you've been.
Most of the time. Take them off.
We love crackers in there.
Yeah, good enough. First angle bisector.
Suspicion of sound, well.
Crackers?
Okay, let's retry that one. That one's not quite good. No, just draw another one. You like jumped as you made it. It was kinda funny.
It slipped because this is.
Patience,
There, you
Lauren.
picked it.
There, you got it. Good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Try that again.
Wait, let's just try this
Yeah.
one.
Not bad. Not bad. All right, now this one. Oh, that's better, but you didn't push down hard enough.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to get my hand in the right motion.
Practice it first.
What the hell is that?
All right. Now finish it off. I believe in you. That was good. That was good, Mark.
How
You got
to
this.
worst.
Yeah,
I
just
think
put
it's
where it
about
should
right
be.
here.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks pretty good to me. All right, that's our incentive. That we're
I'm like
estimating.
too low down. Look at that.
It looks good on my paper.
Yeah, it does look in your favor.
Yeah,
So.
but it's like.
And remember, we're just estimating, so it's not a big deal that it's not perfect. If we had protractors, we would be making these much more accurate, but since we don't have enough, we're just going to go with it. All right, the reason the in-center is special is because if you took a triangle and you drew the biggest circle you could inside of that triangle that touched all three sides, then the in-center is the center of that circle. And the reason that all three of these perpendicular lines are congruent is because it's like having three different radiuses of the circle.
Hey, Kofi, what's
So
your-
all the lines that make right angles are congruent. So that's what makes the in-center special. The circumcenter was a circle that touched the outside corners. The in-center is the biggest circle you can make on the inside without crossing different sides. That's what makes it special.
Can it touch the lines though?
Yeah, but I can't cross them. Can't cross them. So all the lines that make right angles are congruent, which means if we have some angle bisectors, we can find some missing pieces on triangles.
Incentives where all the way from P to his side of a triangle that makes it right angles are congruent. Is that supposed to be like a
Georgia
pun?
Grace.
I tried to think of a pun.
Or empty space.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to
Making
make a
fun of
pun.
my notes here, Joseph, or something wrong with them? Or?
Oh, okay, making fun of the grammar. Okay, I got that.
Teach math, not English. Don't judge me.
All lines from P to a side. Okay, that's to a side of a triangle. That
fine,
make
Benjamin.
right angles are congruent. That make a right angle.
No, but like right angles, because it's all of them.
Wait, don't change it. I forgot the
This
right
is
number.
grammatically correct.
Dramatic, but
Not dramatically, grammatically.
I thought you said dramatically. Like what?
Grammatically.
Grammatically. Okay.
You got this? You got it, Tyler?
I guess.
I guess.
Grammar, man.
Alright, so I'm going to look at this picture here, and then if I have GE equals 2x minus 7, and GF equals x plus 4, I'm going to find GD. So I'm going to look here, and I know G is my incenter, because I have an angle bisector, another angle bisector, third angle bisector. So G is an incenter, just by looking at it, and because of that, I know these little 90-degree lines right here are all congruent.
Totally.
So if GE is 2x minus 7 and GF equals x plus 4, they just equal each other. 2x minus 7 is going to equal x plus 4. If I want to find GD, all I need to do is find one of these, and whatever one is, that's what all three of them are. So I'm going to start by finding x, and then we're going to go from there. So this is basically just an algebra problem. 2x minus 7 equals x plus 4. I'm going to minus x on both sides. That means I'm going to get x minus 7 equals 4. Then I got a plus 7 to both sides. And I get x equals 11. But did I find 11? I found x. Did that answer the question?
No.
man.
No. Because it said, what is GD? So, GD is going to be exactly the same as the other two, right? So I found x. I'm going to take x and just plug it into one of them. So I found one, I found them all. So I'm just going to plug it into x plus 4 because that's easy.
15.
I'm going to plug my 11 in for this x up here to get 11 plus 4, which is 15, which is GD. Even though I plugged it into GF, GF is the same as GE, which is the same as GD. You found one, you found them all. So GD is 15. Alright. For your second in-class problem, I want you to find the value of x. You just have to find x this time. You don't have to find the length or anything. So on this one, find the value of x on this one in the box. Do it on your own. Check with your partner, somebody sitting by you. See if you get the same answer. And we'll go from there. That'll be about it, actually. We'll also have somebody do this on the board, so make sure you do it. So I might call on you.
That's 6.
Oh, I didn't do it wrong.
X number 6. That was cool. So tiring.
Okay, Tyler.
JV boys, you are dismissed for your basketball game. JV boys, dismissed for your basketball game.
I assume that's not you, Joe.
Can you go and watch it?
It is Joe.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. He's cool with it. No.
What happened to him?
No one's cool about it.
Just is like, I'm going to watch it.
It's okay.
Give me about another minute.
where's
Somebody
your
can do it on the board
Oh.
for us.
You're watching the game? 4 to 5
I'll do the exit ticket
Everybody
too,
has headphones.
because I have nothing else to do.
Look, I'm doing my work. I like this song experiment. It's okay.
Alright, take them off. Now during the lesson. No. All the way up. Come on. Come on. You really pull it. Yeah, I will. Keep them on. I'm taking those headphones. And actually, Trista! Since you're getting annoying, put the headphones back on. This
Is
one's
X
worth
equals
it.
6, right?
Yeah, right.
No.
Mark, that's why.
Thanks so much. You have to do. Wait.
Oh,
15, 16, 17, 18.
welcome right your answer.
15.
I'm like,
See you later, Henry. Mix on JT.
26.
He's like, what?
9.
why don't you play
9.
basketball?
9? Really?
So,
For homework, 9 questions? Are you kidding me?
Alright, just assume this one on the board. If you're done, follow along, see if you get the same answer as
That
you.
should
If
be
you're not
less
done,
than
keep working on it.
Oh, I thought you
No. I'm not gonna say you need more. Look at that. But 9? It's like way too much for my brain.
3 times 18. No?
You just have to find X. You can't
Oh, that's
really-
it?
Sure.
Did you plug it back in, Mark?
She was about
What
to.
you eating?
I was
Okay,
like,
I just asked him, you plugged it back in.
Oh.
my yellow? He's the one.
That's so
Yeah.
I hear at night.
Anyway, what? You talking to me?
Yeah, yeah.
Keep it going, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. My name's Liza. Yeah.
Alright, keep it going.
You want ice cream?
What?
At Mission Market. Down there.
Free ice cream.
Vanilla winter? Okay.
You got this,
I
Krista.
know, right?
I'm leaving you.
So negative
I still get it though.
Hey, at least you got ice creams.
Oh, I do too. Nice, thanks.
How do I deserve this?
I need to start going to school every day.
I'm pretty sure I skipped a lot this year.
No, you didn't. I did though, only because I was sick.
be
You were
I
here every
skipped
day
8
though.
times. No, that was last year.
Those are periods.
You got a plus 24 to both
No,
sides.
she said because I
I don't
got
think I've
perfect
ever gotten
attendance.
Oh.
In October.
Yeah, so you're gonna
I don't know,
get
I'm confused.
12
I'll
equals
remember.
2x. You're kind of combining some steps in
Yeah,
there.
just no.
Alright,
Yes.
so you minus 3x on both sides, and then if you're gonna do it, make it a little speedier. You add 24 to both sides, you get 12 equals 2x.
Sure. No way.
Yes, way.
Watch the year be different. I mean,
There you
so
go.
stupid.
It is 12/31/17.
12/31/17.
There you go, x equals 6.
Yep.
But I still get it.
No,
That
but
doesn't
she
sound
said
weird
she says
change,
it still works. She said
Really?
it's not expired. Yeah.
They must have forgot to switch 17 to 18 then.
Yeah.
I got
Alright,
this.
that is actually it for our lesson.
Boom.
This was the second half of the one from Friday, so it's not very long. So,
Boom.
if you haven't yet, do your exit ticket. I'll turn on Scrative in just a minute, and then I'll put your homework on Google Classroom. So after you finish your exit ticket, you can listen to music as long as you have headphones.
Okay, we're
Can I use yours?
us seniors are going to return the favor and we're going to teach you a lesson. Let's